Hello friends, welcome to the Golden One channel and thank you for being here. Now today we will be talking about meditation. We've all heard the term meditation and most of us understand it's about accessing deeper states of consciousness or achieving results like more joy, more peace, more love, more happiness in our lives, and to relieve stress, right? Those are some of the very common things about meditation. So what's different about this video? Well, I'm going to be addressing some of the biggest misconceptions about meditation and some of the things that I think people don't talk about when they're trying to teach meditation, at least most people. Most people believe that meditation is sitting down, in a pose somewhere, or maybe even laying down and quieting the mind. And even though quieting the mind, or achieving this state of no mind as some may call it, is very much part of meditation, it is not the action of quieting the mind that achieves the result of meditation. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people sit there and focus on shooing away thoughts and images and all this stuff, and they focus on quieting the mind. But what a lot of people don't understand, so meditation is more than that. It's about it's no longer about blocking things from coming and entering your mind, and in fact it is now about allowing those things to come through. That's the biggest thing that I don't ever hear hardly anyone say. Everything I always hear is that, I sit down and I try to quiet my mind, but things just keep bombarding me and I'm not good at meditation. I'm not good at meditating. When they don't realize that it's actually about allowing those feelings, those thoughts, those emotions, whatever it is that's coming and bombarding you, to come towards you. So essentially what you're doing is, you sit down in your meditative pose or lay down and close your eyes and you just be present. You could do some breath work, and I highly encourage breath work for everybody, not only just for meditation, but you could just do a couple deep breaths to really bring you in a state of calm and centeredness. And that's, it would only take you maybe 10, maybe 30 seconds at most, or if you really want to take your time with the breathing exercise, go for a minute, but it doesn't take that long to center yourself again. So a great way to start meditation is doing breath work, and a very simple technique is doing 3 breaths that are really deep and the exhale is really long. So what I mean by that is, essentially I always tell everybody, you breathe in until you cannot breathe in anymore, you hold that for 1 whole second, and then you release until you cannot release anymore. Hold that for a second, and you do that cycle 3 times. So I'll just do an example real quick. I would breathe in, you see how it's a little strenuous doing that, but that's the point. Hold that for 1 second. And you hold that for 1 second, and then you restart. And so the exhale is really the important part, because a lot of people think they release that initial breath, the thrust of breath coming out. There's actually more to be released. You release until you literally cannot breathe out anymore, and then you hold that for 1 second, and then you repeat that cycle. So that's a great one to do. You can do, typically most people do around 3. You can do around 3, and then if depending on the situation, if you feel like you need to do 3 or 6 or 9 or whatever amounts of breaths that you think you need, that's a great way to just kick off your meditation, because by the time you're done with that breath work and you bring your breath back to a natural state, to a natural flow, then you're ready to start meditation. So back to the meditation portion. So you're closing your eyes, you've done your breath work, and you start to, bring in your breath into a natural flow. This could be shallow, this could be much deeper. Just allow it to be natural. Don't try to guide that in any way. And all you're doing is being present. And for most of us, it won't take very long. It'll take only a couple seconds until something starts popping into your mind. And that's okay. That's perfect, actually. What's going on is that these things that, because of our busy lives, have, we've shushed away. You're cooking dinner and you think about something that you need to do later, and you're like, oh, I need to do that, but I can't do it right now because I'm cooking dinner, and then later you forget. Well, that thought of something that you need to do created the energy of, okay, there needs to be a follow-up action. But then if there never is that follow-up action, it's still here in your energy field, waiting to be acknowledged or completed. And so you think about something, an action, you forget about it later, you have your dinner, it's late at night, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I had to do that. Well, I'm going to bed now, so I can't do it. And then tomorrow comes and you're back at the cycle. It might come up again. You might not have time to do it again at that time. So because of our busy schedules, through wake up, eat breakfast, go to work, come back, have dinner, maybe enjoy watching some TV or something like that, we don't set the appropriate amount of time for these things to come back into our consciousness to be resolved. And that's what is happening here, is that all these things that we didn't do, some of them are just simple thoughts, some of them are emotions that we felt back, some of them are actions that need to be taken in your life, but they all get compiled. And that's why a lot of people say they're not good at meditation, is because they can't get rid of these thoughts. And like I said, it's okay. The point is not to get rid of them. The point is to acknowledge them, understand them, bring them to your awareness. If it's everything else, you can say thank you to, something comes to your mind and you say, okay, yes, thank you thought, thank you emotion, thank you whatever, you can go now and be released. It's as simple as that. And the only exception to that rule is things that actually need to be done, like maybe going to the grocery store that you've put off for the next few days because you haven't felt like it, which is fine. It's all fine and good, but you still created that mental energy that's pending, so to speak, to be fulfilled. And so when you do that, when that does come your way, when you try to meditate, the only exception to saying thank you, you may flow on, you may be released, to that you would say, thank you for being here, thank you for reminding me that I need to take this action. I will release you and I will take this action as soon as I feel relevant to do so. So for example, if it's late at night and you're meditating late at night and you're obviously not going to go to the store, maybe they've closed, you could just commit to go to the grocery store. But it's, even if you don't necessarily go the next day, it's not like you've lied to yourself. Essentially it means that that thought that you created at some point, the energy, it's come to you, you've allowed it to be released, and you've released that thought. You might form new thoughts and do the same thing, the same cycle again, in which you'll have to release again. But if you create new thoughts and say, thank you for reminding me this is something I do need to do, it's like you're releasing that energy there. So the idea of clearing your mind through meditation, it is not an action to be taken when you meditate. It is a byproduct of allowing all those things that are coming forward to pass on and to be released. And I always tell people that a good metaphor is that you're sitting at the edge of a river, and the point is not to look at every one single thing that's floating down, and with you're picking it up and you're holding it and you're looking at it. For example, a leaf, it's not about focusing in that one leaf and holding it for as long as you can. It's about, thank you leaf for coming down my river, put it back in the river, allow it to flow on by. And you'll see more things, and here and there, and slowly that view that was once narrowed on a single leaf will begin to expand, and and then eventually you'll be able to just watch the whole flow of the river. That's the space of being present. That is the space of being fully there, fully in the now, and in that state of no mind, or in that state of clearing your mind. That is a byproduct of allowing these things to flow past you. So, with that being said, that concludes this short video for you all about meditation and some of the misconceptions. Please comment down below if any of you took this technique and has practiced it, and see if if it helped you. Please let me know. I'd love to know if it really helped you. I would also love to know if you have other roadblocks, because there are other things that can potentially be roadblocks towards meditation, because meditation is really a lovely thing, and meditation isn't only sitting down, quieting your mind and breathing and doing this process. Meditation can be many forms. It could be riding your bike, it could be laying by a river, or hearing the rain fall. It could be lots of things, a meditative experience. And a meditative experience is one that shifts your consciousness to a different brainwave state, or a state of full presence in the now. That's all meditation is. And when you're fully present in the now, all these things that give you stress and worry and all these things just shut off. Your energy shut off your physical body too, because we do hold energy in the physical body, and they just go and they just fade and they melt away. And that is the point of meditation, and that is why it can be so powerful. So like I said, please comment down below with your questions, or if this method worked for you, or this new knowing and awareness worked for you. As always, thank you all for being here. This has been the Golden One channel, and I hope to see you in the next video.